Now open Mary, Our Lady of Peace Mausoleum in Flushing, New York. Secure your family's future with 10% down, no taxes, and 0% interest financing for up to 10 years on pre-need crypts and cremation niches starting at just $25 per month. Protect your loved ones with the gift of pre-planning. Visit them today at Mount St. Mary Cemetery. Call 718-353-1560. That's 718-353-1560 or go to ccbklyn.org to learn more. That's ccbklyn.org.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
John, General, tell us, is it possible to fire 200 missiles and not hit anybody?
John and Rita, thanks for having me. And it's pretty amazing to understand the layered defense that Israel enjoys alongside of the United States. And literally, it seems like only one person was killed in this attack. And ironically, it was a Palestinian in the West Bank. But that is how effective Israel and the United States are in this thing called missile defense.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because we thought it was a Hollywood movie made all over again.
It almost seems like it, but the technology is so advanced, especially with that type of precursor warning, that we, the United States and Israel, were able to weave our defenses together in order to essentially neutralize that 200 missile volley that they saw coming at them a couple hours ago.
This morning, Netanyahu was saying that there's going to be a regime change in Iran, in his opinion. So the Iranians have to do something to save face.
Well, I think that they did indeed attack out of trying to save face or out of pride. But now Israel, similarly, to maintain their credibility, has to do something that is a strong indication of their strength. And that likely means at some point at the time and place of their choosing, striking targets in Iran.
Wow. I am sure that the Iranian mullahs are scared stiff. One of them went to a special hiding place.
Yeah, the supreme leader. The supreme leader.
Because they're afraid of having a firecracker in their toilet.
Well, it's true. And you think about how Israel has proven that they can strike targets at will, including in Iran, like they did the Hamas leader in Tehran back in July. And it is true that Iran cannot similarly do that to Israel. That's why it was so foolish, but it was done out of pride that Iran had to attack today. But when Israel strikes back, they're not going to miss. So
let me ask you, General Teichert, how is Israel going to respond? I sort of see it, and maybe there's more options, going after the supreme leader, whether it's in his toilet or not. The other is obviously the option of going after the nuclear sites. They came really close last time. They hit the airfield saying, we can get you. Here's a warning. Or going after their oil fields. What do you think they will do?
I think this next step would be wise to strike an economic target like an oil field or a port with a very strong leader warning that the supreme leader is next. And hopefully that would cause Iran to back down and not continue this cycle of escalation that we saw started to some extent today.
Do they have a small window to act? I mean, look at, I'll tell you one thing that was stunning to me today. As the daughter of a Polish resistance fighter, the Germans came out and had a stronger message condemning Iran than America did. Think about that. Think about what that means historically. That's stunning. This White House has been so weak and so flip-floppy on Israel. Don't you think they have a very narrow window to act? And as John brought up, regime change can mean a lot of things. In other words, getting rid of the supreme leader, if you're ever going to do it, is it a narrow window to really go for it? They've done it on other levels, getting rid of Hamas, the leader and head of Hezbollah recently.
Well, I do agree that America has been downright weak during the last year in its support of Israel. But I do think that Israel can bide their time a little bit and maybe strike some of those military or economic targets in a way that would really prove to Iran that Israel has something that Iran doesn't, which is the capability to strike at will anywhere in the other's country.
Judge Weinberg.
General, good to talk to you again. It seems to me that everybody's talking about this is Israel's fight. This is not Israel's fight. This is Israel defending Western civilization. And there's a great column in the Wall Street Journal today by Gerard Baker that points out that the civilized world owes a great debt of gratitude to Israel to being the first bulwark against this savage attack against Western civilization. Your thoughts?
No, I totally agree, and I appreciated that thought piece in the Wall Street Journal. And indeed, instead of condemning Israel from the United States or having a wish-washy level of support, we should massively appreciate what they've done for the last year in fighting on the front lines where it is good versus evil, and they are on the good side, and they face evil every single day.
Well, any closing opinions?
I just think that Israel is showing.
General, just an ironic point here. You talk about how the most beneficial short-term target would be the oil facilities. I think back that under Trump, Iran's oil export capability had virtually collapsed because of the sanctions that were imposed. And now they are a major oil exporter, earning hundreds of billions of dollars because the Biden-Harris administration has eliminated essentially those sanctions. So to me, it's just ironic that Israel will have to do what they would not had to if Trump's sanctions against Iran had continued in place.
You're right. That max pressure on Iran under the Trump administration strangled their sources of revenue and dried up their ability to support their proxies to the max extent possible. And now we're just seeing all of that come back alive. And the result is that Israel has to do something that the United States should have done long ago.
Well, General Teichert, thank you so much for coming on. And let's monitor the situation and see how things progress.
Call me back anytime. I always love talking to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Janine Pirro here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Pirro for your free Janine Pirro Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit, or call 800-965-8004. 800-965-8004 now to receive a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.